My name is Angel Lateral, and when it comes to practicing law, I resonate with the human spirit just as much as the judicial system. This isn't your typical business legal advice show, and I'm not your typical lawyer. As an attorney, I have over 16 years of legal experience in the areas of business law and estate planning. As a project manager, I love building and nurturing systems that work. And as a certified guide in the lineage of King Solomon, transformation consultant, and practicing Buddhist, I know this all starts with a healthy mindset. Welcome to the Laws of Abundance podcast. Legal advice from an angel. I'm your host, Angel Lateral. Listeners, I would like to give you the gift of actual magic this new year. Magic to help you bring your New Year goals into fruition. Magic to resolve and live the life of your dreams in 2022 and beyond. Magic that doesn't involve childhood fairy tales or Walt Disney fantasy, but aligns with the scientific laws of abundance and the logical flow of the universe around you. So what is this magic? What does a magical life entail? And how does this relate to laws of the universe and abundance? Once upon a time, I believed with enough hard work, you could control all outcomes in life. I fastidiously controlled what went into my body and who I was physically around. I had to because I had such sensitivity to other people. I didn't know I was empathic. I had hidden panic attacks and anxiety. Spontaneity was only for moments of self-medicated freedom, yet even those were still carefully controlled and curated within containers to ensure bad decision-making didn't leak out and spoil my future. I had no one to rely on but myself, so I couldn't fuck up anything, which is why I had to control everything, be perfect at everything, manage everything. Thus the hamster wheel continued to spin, but I was a high-functioning, achievement-oriented person who looked successful on the outside. Then I met these lovely women who told me to chant Nam-myoho Renge-kyo. I had nothing to lose, so I did. I had no idea what the words meant, but the vibration, the ritual, the time spent in meditation began to relax something within me. I felt better, alchemically, without any processing. Something was altering my physical body and my mind. Thoughts cleared. Heart rate lowered, muscles relaxed, all with the repetitive rhythm and vibrational frequency of a mantra repeated over and over again. And after a month or so of chanting this every day, I began to realize I had been living my life in a self-imposed prison. It was a prison of unworthiness and omniscient controllers. Like a scared beast, I had to stay in my cage because everything outside the prison was unknown and uncontrollable. And little old me could not dare to ask anything of the universe. I could not request to have my needs met or be noticed. In fact, hiding was the preferred method of life because if I was seen, it could invite attack. So I, through a practice of daily meditation and chanting a high vibration mantra, transformed myself from a body of fear to a body of creative expression. I began to put myself out there, to perform poetry and help others do the same. I started to ask for things from the universe. I articulated my needs and wants and toyed with the concept of being worthy to receive these gifts. So back to magic. The definition of magic is the process of creating something from nothing or changing something into something else. Examples of this: to draw letters on a blank piece of paper. Where there was once open space, there is now a message, a poem, or a song. To create music, both through dictating notes on paper using the language of scales and notes, or to strum the melody on a guitar or a piano. First, there is nothing, then there is something. Or magic is to make a lasagna. Last night I took noodles, ground sausage, tomato sauce, herbs, and cheese, and with a bit of love, I placed them together in a specific order and thus created a new thing, something from something else. In this case, a lasagna appropriate for a Garfield the cat meme. So magic, in the personal alchemical sense, means the same. In my story, my 18-year-old self took the mantra, Nam-myoho Renge-kyo, and I repeated it. And it changed me from something to something else. It changed my vibration over time from fear to courage, and it transformed my life and awakened me to my true abilities as a creative individual, capable of her own acts of magic. The tarot card, the magician in the traditional Rider-Waite illustrations, one hand points up and one hand points down, signifying as above, so below, as within, so without. On his table sit the four elements, represented by the sword, air, pentacles, earth, a chalice, i.e. cups, which is water, and a wand, which represents fire. The two major principles of magic. One, being in balance with the four elements in order to manifest, and using those four elements to make something from nothing or something into something else. And two, the power of the magician is based on the power of his or her own imagination. So as within the mind of the magician, so shall be without, as the magician creates it in her physical world. So if you can think it, you can create it. In fact, to think a thought is to create. Then to use the elements to manifest it into the form in the physical world, whether as a result in our life, or our body, or our environment. So what is the law of abundance I'm talking about here? Well, it's recognition that we all have the power to be the magician, manifesting magnificent results for ourselves in our lives. If we can just recognize the power lies within our life itself. Once you recognize that you are always creating, consciously or subconsciously, you can harness the power to use it consciously, and is only inhibited by our ability to imagine. This is why they are called self-limiting beliefs. The belief, i.e. our lack of imagining differently, limits us. So our job for this law of abundance is twofold. First, clarity of thought. Recognition that self equals environment, as within, so without. And engaging in practices that balance, clear, and nourish, so our within isn't a cluttered hoarder house of crap and negative self-talk. And then two, how do we feed our imagination such that we can envision the things we truly desire and thus physically manifest them or call them into us using the four elements of our physical and internal environments? So hold the vision. Be the container for creation of the thing or result. Idea, vision, thought, holding the vision. Plan, breaking down the steps and using the structures of the universe and its rules. Action, doing something in the flow of the universe, equals manifestation, i.e. magic, creating something from nothing or turning something into something else, all sealed with gratitude for the bounty received to reinforce the positive thought loop and create the fertile ground for abundance. As we reach the end of this year, 2021, I bring this season of Laws of Abundance to a close, reviewing these principles of creation that I started with, because these are our building blocks. Call them magic, call them alchemy, chemistry, science, logic, intuition, hermetics. They are laws of abundance, and they affect us regardless if we choose to believe in them. Just like gravity is real, we stick to the earth and have weight even if we don't believe it's round and spins in the cosmos. Just the same, you are creating your reality even if you choose to deny this fact. These laws are reflected in sacred geometry building blocks all around us, in the Fibonacci sequences of stock markets and cryptocurrency, in the light of the sun and the moon, the ebb and the flow of the waters in lakes, rivers, and oceans, and in your body. And from the body, micro and macrocosm of your physical body systems, your aura, and your spirit. On this planet, we were once nothing but a gleam of passion in two persons' eyes. Then magic happens. An egg and a sperm meet in a container known as the womb, and something happens based on a structure of sacred geometry. Our DNA, sacred geometry, literally builds a little human, and that physical being is released into the world, taking its first breath so it too can become a creator of things in this physical world, including the creation of other humans. But all humans are granted the power of thought, word, and act, and imagination to see beyond what is physically in front of them. Power to do magic. The power to create. The power to live a life of abundance in a story of their own making. This is not about toxic positivity or magical wishful thinking. This is about looking at the patterns and how things actually work in the universe, and the work it takes as a human to figure out that with our experience. I hope my experiences this year, or those I've shared from my life so far, have helped you. And I look forward to continuing to learn with you here in this public space in 2022. And from that place of vulnerability, be an example of these laws of abundance in my own life. In the meantime, my dear listeners, take stock. You are all magicians, creating and manifesting your worlds. Choose wisely that which you make reality. Thank you for allowing me to help you prosper. If you like this podcast, please review and subscribe. You can find out more about me at laterallaw.com/Laws of Abundance podcast. I'm your host, Angel Lateral, and I can help with that.